Hey everybody, I'm Justin Bohn, and today I'm going to be talking about the brand new Radical Outer Limits. Let's waste no time and get right into it. Talking about the brand new Radical Outer Limits, this ball literally still has the lines on it. I have not thrown it one shot yet. The first shot I throw right now is going to be the first shot that I've ever thrown with it. I got warmed up with another ball, and we're ready to see what this one does. I don't even know where to stand. I literally haven't, that looks close. Okay, all right, so we can move a little right off of that. So like I said, literally first shot out of the box. So it might take me 2 or 3 shots to get lined up. But yeah, that's okay. That one's a little closer. So typically when I am throwing a ball, I like to get a couple of shots on it before I really give my honest thoughts. I feel like the out-of-box surface is just a touch different after it gets a couple of shots on it. So really don't want to give too much feedback on it yet. Really want to give it like a couple of shots first. But I can look at the color, because that's not going to change. And I think this ball looks sick. And that's why we drill bowling balls, because of the color. And that's the only reason we drill bowling balls, right? Come on, the messengers are the coolest. Why didn't that one strike? So what I've heard so far about the Outer Limits, the testers at the brands of Brunswick talked about how Radical really hit it out of the park with this one. It literally says it on the website. Right there, yeah. And those testers are pretty good, and they have a job testing bowling balls for a reason. So if they say it's good, it's gotta be good. Oh boy. And that was bad. So we don't really count that one, we're just gonna redo it. We're not gonna talk about it because it was poor execution on my hands. That was a little better. So in the first handful of shots that I've thrown, I can really see that it wants to pick up early. It's a hybrid cover with the HK22 cover. So it is gonna be a stronger piece because of that hybrid cover. It's not a shiny ball out of the box. So it's gonna be good on the fresh, we're going on a fresh house shot right now. But the core has some teeth to it, which is interesting to see, as I'm still trying to interpret what I'm seeing in 4 shots. So that's always good to see when it gets right off my hand and it still has enough energy to get up the hill. We like that. We like that a lot. It's a very good sign, especially when I get around a little bit. That one was not my best, but the fact that it was still had enough to get up the hill is good. So for those of you layout people out there, I went with the, I think it's layout B, the most versatile layout that Radical recommends on the sheet that they put in all of their boxes. It's supposed to be versatile, 45 by 4 by 35. It's supposed to be strong, it's supposed to be smooth, it's supposed to be versatile. Whee! Ooh, that's good. That's good. So that's the sign we really like to see when we get it even further right and it still comes back and goes through the pins even better. So now as I've kind of got a couple of shots under my belt and I've started to see the ball go down the lane a little bit, a couple of errant shots in there, but that's okay. We can still get a read off of them. Kind of seeing this ball on the stronger side in my bag, something I could use on the fresh, something I could probably use a little bit in the transition on the longer patterns when like super strong balls, archetype, stealth, envy, all balls that I've referenced in a previous ball video. Anyway, when all of those balls start to hook too early, this is something that I find myself being able to go to where the shiny balls really aren't quite there yet. The hybrid cover of this, I think, allows it to get through the front a little bit better, but still see it in the oil. Let's try and play a little bit more hold here, see if it still gets up the hill in the oil. It's further left. Woo, it still does. It still does. So now I'm gonna take and bowl a game with this ball, go through the motions, see what I see. I've got a good basis of what the ball does, but now I'm gonna see if I can put it to the test and get a lot of strikes on the board. First game, first thoughts. Typically when you're bowling on the house shots, you wanna try and play more of the hold. You don't wanna play the right, it's there for forgiveness. If you get it there, it's probably okay. But to score the most, we're gonna try and play the hold this game. Try not to throw it right, let's see if I'm any good at it. Frame 1. And you threw it right. Still came back, doesn't matter. So as I talked about that, forgiveness to the right being there for forgiveness and not necessarily the idea of where you want to be at, prime example of it. Anyway, if you are one of those league bowlers looking for a new ball and you want to know if this is going to match up to your playing style, I'm going to say the higher speed players are going to benefit a little bit more from this one. Ones with a little bit lower rev rate, that they can still use a stronger ball before this in game 1 or game 2, and they can go to this and not have to use a super shiny ball that they feel like isn't gonna hook in the oil, because this one definitely still is. From what I've seen from the HK22, it allows these balls to still hook more in the oil, and that's why I think higher speed players are gonna benefit from this one. That's better. So I don't wanna jinx it yet, because it's frame 2, but I've never bowled 300 in the training center. Tonight, I think will be the night I bowl 279. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm bowling 300 this game. 2 shots in, gotta have confidence. And we have it, because this ball is just that good. Making me look good. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. You can see, 3 shots in. I'm dead perfect. I'm not missing, not missing. As one of those higher rev players myself who kind of contradicts the type of player that I just talked about this ball being good for, it still blends out the cliff on the house shot, where when I get it in, it's still got enough to get up the hill, and when I get it right, it still blends it out. So like, this house shot is very fresh, and I could still use it in, I say game 1, I threw literally 10 shots before it. So I feel like a good general tip that when you're bowling, really anything, having a towel, especially being a 2-hander, this ball slimes up quick. A lot of my bowling balls do, just as I go down the lane, oh, it gets on the ball. Part of the game, right? Having a towel to wipe it off will give you a more consistent reaction, not just with this ball, but with any ball in your bag. General tip, get a towel. All right, enough of the tip talk. Frame 5. Fall over! Damn it! Clearly I didn't wipe that one off enough. So I'm gonna move 5 right for this 2-pin and hook at it, unlike Michael Harmon when he missed a 2-pin on TV, Junior Gold. Play the clip.
Whoa, whiff. And miss and 2-pin.
Sorry, Michael. Not sorry. Whee! 9 spare. 9 spares are good. They also add up the score. So 5 frames into the game, I like what I'm seeing. Front 4, 2-pin, spare. Made the spare. Take that, Michael. I like the smooth motion that it's given me. It's seeing the front part of the lane pretty good, but still has a good motion off the end of the pattern. It's not too snappy. I can see this being a ball that I use on those longer patterns, higher volume, longer length. I think that's where I'm gonna find the most use out of the outer limits. That was better. God almighty. The shoe almost came off there. I almost threw it at the pin, but it's fine, it's fine. So that one was slower off my hand because I 2-pinned the last one and threw it too hard. I was like, oh, slow it down. Might be time to make a move. So now, gonna make a small move in since I had solid 9. And that one hooked a little bit too hard off the spot for my liking. Just a small 2-in-1. Keep speed under control, so it's still seasoned in the oil, and it'll be fine. So you can see after the move, still had enough energy to go through the pins, smack the 10 silly, send it on to lane 1. That's what we like to see. So we're gonna do that same thing again. At least that's the idea. Oh my God, horrendous, Justin. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Guys, we're not talking about that one. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. It was not, yeah, no. Michael, that's another 2-pin. 2 for 2. You're 0 for 1. So we're not really gonna talk about the last shot I threw because it was bad. It has nothing to do with the ball. But what does have something to do with the ball, if you are one of those higher rev players that wants to see a little bit more use out of this one, knocking some of the surface off could allow it to not see it as early and give you a little bit more of a rounded motion off the end of the pattern where it doesn't burn up too quick. Lower rev players, higher speed players, do the opposite. Put a little bit more surface on it. 1,000 out of the box can be really good for you, allowing it to see it just a touch sooner and be a little bit smoother off the end of the pattern and not be so hockey stick down lane. 9th to 10th frame, 4-bagger, 248, no problem. Okay, now this is trouble. As much as the outer limits is a great ball, and everyone should have one, the purpose to making the 10-pin is not for the outer limits. That's for my baby, my plastic ball. We're gonna make this 10-pin because she knows how to make them. Get a plastic ball. Everybody needs one. Glad I made that no problem. 10th frame here. Gonna move 5 lefts because why the heck not? Want to see what it does when I throw it a little bit slower in the oil. And no better place to do it than the 10th frame, right? Because this is the video and the score really doesn't matter. That's close. Same thing again. But 5 more left because why not? It hooked last time. Just throw a little slower, right? That's the one. Should have just played it the whole game. So 230, good score to start. And first thoughts on the ball. It's pretty good. Testers weren't wrong when they said this one was out of the park. That's gonna wrap this one up. BuddiesProShop.com. Get your outer limits today. You saw this ball is good. That's all you need to know. In front of the ball return, because that's how we're gonna end this one. Don't forget to subscribe.
6.
Peace.